Hello, everyone, and thank you. Trump might require drug tests for welfare benefits. So I already knew this was in the works, and I believe anybody who's really been up on what's going on with some of the social issues or social programs in their neighborhood or their city, if you're up on this, you kind of knew that this was coming. Some don't. Some do not know until it actually happens to them, believe it or not. And so, unfortunately, it is happening. I guess maybe since they started changing the SNAP program to food boxes, people started to take notice that things are starting to get real. So, right now, 42 million Americans use the SNAP program, and there's a good chance that Trump will spring a surprise press conference to announce that able bodied adults taking benefits will have to undergo drug testing before getting paid. Leaked emails from the Department of Agriculture show that people responsible for supplemental nutritional assistance programs are preparing for an announcement on drug testing at the moment's notice. Under Obama's era rules, states have been denied permissions from federal government to drug test people applying for SNAP programs, even though some states are able to require that people taking other forms of welfare payments must prove up on their abs, abstention from illegal drugs. In other words, they got to be somebody that's not, addicted to substance and not using their benefits and abusing it. And so this is drug testing cup based on the leaked emails and executive order signed this week. The initial proposal for drug testing will be narrow in scope and will apply to people who are able-bodied and do not have dependents. So these are people who don't have children, but they're receiving some type of governmental assistance of some sort. As well, it will focus on people who are applying for specialized jobs. One official estimates that the drug testing proposal will affect about 5% of the people currently receiving SNAP benefits, of course. Executive order yesterday, we reported that Donald Trump had signed an executive order asking departments that are involved with the administration of welfare benefits to research and respond with possible improvements to assist programs within 90 days. One of the departments involved in the Department of Agriculture, which is responsible for SNAP programs, which has been in the news recently for suggesting that some food stamp users might be migrated to have a harvest box, which would contain shelf-stable food necessities, which is that what I was telling you, where they've changed the SNAP program so you don't go in the grocery stores, you have to receive a food box. Within the Department of Agriculture, Associate Administrator Jessica Shanahan wrote an email that she was concerned about the timing of the announcement on the drug testing question. I think we just have to be ready because my guess is we may get an hour notice instead of a day's notice. And so yep, like some other individuals have said, shit is getting real. For those who, if you didn't know, you know now. So you will be looking at a cup like this, and you will be having to take a drug test before you can even receive welfare benefits. And this is involving the SNAP. This, welfare benefit. And he wants to kind of lump everything together. So this is probably a short video, but it's short and candid. I did one earlier where something had just came in and he had signed an executive order. And so he's really on the ball, in terms of getting these things signed and approved lickety split. So this was just in, it's by Hannon Bishop, April 12th, 2018. And this is the title, Trump might require drug test for welfare benefits. So I believe that's like a little hint. I believe it is going to be a requirement. It's not a might. I believe it is a do. that something is in the works and just get ready for it. So I believe some places in some other states might be already doing this. So I had took the liberty of looking at some other articles. I know there was one um, where it was in Conservative Fighters, and it said Trump signs new order, drug test mandatory for welfare. Look what immediately happened. And so this is a whole nother article, but it's within a line of what I just read. So it's no different. So it's basically preparing people for what is to come. And so I just suggest to people that you really stay up on the changes, the coming changes. They're happening very rapidly in pace. And so literally these things are happening like, I mean, like overnight. It's almost like as soon as you wake up, boom, there's a new order. There's something else, so that, I mean, it's like with rapid lightning speed that this stuff is happening. And then it happens, some of the articles say, oh, he quietly, signed this order, or he quietly changed this rule, or he did that, or he did this. And notice all of the things that have to do with Obama are being done away with. And so I don't know what all this is entailing, but it looks like I did some previous videos where, it was called The War on the Poor. And there have been books that have been written called The War on the Poor. And so I believe that's what's going on. I believe we're living in a time where, if you are not productive, if you're not showing any productivity, if you're just pretty much sitting at home and you're expecting a free handout, those days are about to come to a close. If you're not injured and you don't have anything to prove it and to back it up, you don't have any medical records or anything, nothing to validate what your issue is, and it's not substantiated in some kind of document, you are what we call SOL, shit out of luck. So you just really got to get on the ball and stay up on what's going on. Like they always use the term stay woke. Well, these are things you need to stay woke on. So with that being said, this is the next thing that is coming in effect. And that's not even that far away from what I just talked about, just like earlier in the morning. And that's how fast this stuff is happening. So with rapid pace. But with that being said, signing out. So look for this. This is probably all over the net. Trump might require drug testing. And so be looking out for it. And this is what's to come. This is what you're going to be expected to do. Like, comment, subscribe. And thanks for listening.